I won't lie, loving you take time.
I would describe my sound as not necessarily dark, but definitely like super, super, super reflective and introspective. But the music around it, I try to keep light and fun to listen to so that, you know what I'm saying, it's not too heavy of a listen, but that's just how I make it, because I can't really make music unless I have something to say. So the music around it has to, you know what I'm saying, kind of like a palate cleanser for real. It's like, he talking about some crazy shit on here, but this beat, or like the harmonies, you know what I'm saying? Like 66689 Boulevard Prequel. It's heavy, it's a lot. So I guess I'll start with 66689. Because most of the time when people see it, they just see the 666 and they be like, oh shit. But when I started first writing the album, before it had a name, if I couldn't come up with nothing, I'd just like doodle in a notebook. I had, when I was a kid, when I was younger, I had this blue flip phone, Kyocera K132. And if you know anything about texting on like a flip phone, to type on the way, you would have to type imp 66608T9W. So it's on the way to Boulevard, which is the completed project. That's why it's called the prequel. So that's the name. The actual album, I was going back and forth between if I wanted to be like a journey or if I wanted to be like a live, unofficial therapy session. What ended up happening, because the album starts with starting route to 66689 Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Like the beginning of the album before it even starts. And the whole album is a case study, which goes back to the question that we just, you know, what we just talked about. It's a case study about all of my friends and like people who I look up to and stuff like that. The album starts with me outlining characteristics about them that I love or that I would like to just, you know, kind of implement in my life. That's the framework for the whole album. So the whole album, so it starts right there, and then it, like, the song after that is like Lakeshore, and then it's just like where I'm talking about being jealous. So it goes from me looking up, like idolizing them and wanting to being like them, to like low-key being jealous of them. And if you know, if anybody know anything about me, I just hate that emotion. I hate that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to figure out, I basically had to justify being jealous, because, you know what I'm saying, that's a hard one to deal with. But what I ultimately came up with was that I'm not jealous or envious in the sense that I don't want them to have nothing, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no bad. I still want them to be them and thrive and blah, blah, blah. But I just want it for myself. So it's more like motivation than actual jealousy. But what I learned in writing that song is that jealousy and envy is kind of good for real. Like, because even if you look at like the economy, you know what I'm saying? Jealousy or envy, that feeling, that as a raw feeling says like, oh, you got a nice car, I want a nice car. Or you got some fly shoes, I want some fly shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of just keep people going and keep people motivated to do everything. And also just like, you know what I'm saying, that was me noticing that I needed to change shit about myself, or like, you know, work on shit about myself. So, and then it goes to the midpoint of the album, which this is like the short breakdown of it, but it goes like to the midpoint of the album, which is Pacifist Prayer, where I start blaming them for me feeling fucked up. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? By the time we get to Pacifist Prayer, I'm just feeling terrible. Like, I'm feeling down, I'm depressed, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I start blaming people, like blaming all my friends and stuff like that. So it's three sides to, you know, how you deal with conflict and stuff like that. That's why it's called Pacifist Prayer, because the one I chose was fight, flight, or freeze. And the beat switches and the song switches like highlight me dealing with each one of those. So one of them is fight. The middle one is fight, where I'm yelling. Beginning is flight, where I'm like running from the problem. And in the end is freeze, where I like stop and like learn like how to deal with it. And then what I end up coming up with at the end of Pacifist Prayer is that I'm fucking looking at all these people and I'm projecting all my insecurities on them. And so whenever they do something, I'm internalizing it and then taking it like trying to hurt me or they trying to attack me or they don't care about me and shit like that. And that's wrong. I'm just actually just projecting myself. Like if I come in here and I'm like, yo, how you feeling? Like, what's up? And I give you a big old hug and I'm like, how you been? Blah, blah, blah. And you just be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't know what you just went through. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your day was like. You could have been dog tired. You could have, something terrible could have happened to your family, whatever, woo, woo, woo. But as a raw feeling, it's just like you, well, how I would feel, how I would take it is, oh, she acting, or she, you know what I'm saying? Like she acting stank or she acting corny. Cause that's like you feeling rejected. Like you reached out, you tried to give off all this love and blah, 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 and it was rejected because you wasn't feeling the same way I felt. So that's the ambigram theory. Ambigram is a word that's spelled like up, upright is spelled one way and upside down is spelled a different way. So ambigram theory is when I realize that I'm projecting all of these feelings on my people, like that's why the hook is like, I go back and forth with you. You like my best friend. You like my best friend. And on the first, like throughout the whole album, if you hear like a screw voice, that voice is saying what's actually going on, like what's really happening. So the screw voice is saying over the hook, like, you ain't never this excited. You ain't never be like, you need to calm down. You need to relax. Like, stop letting yourself get excited and stop, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically trying to keep me like down. And that's like the premise of the whole first verse. And the premise of the whole second verse is where I realized that this is me. This is my voice. This is me doing this to myself. Like, and I say in the song, like it's a 4-foot mirror by the bed, laying upside down. The reflection was giving dread. So every smile is a frown from your perspective, how you want to see. Fix your face, get up and show some love. You know that part is free. Looking in this glass, trying to see the shit you want to see, gonna be the death of you, which in a sense can mean the death of me. So when you spell it out, it's elementary, the shape of we, the shape of me. And that's where the ambigram comes into play, because like we, W-E, me, and you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's all my fault. So then the second hook is saying like, from where I sit, we damn near the same nigga. Where I realize like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it. And then towards the end of the album is where I figure it out. So Kill the Father, like a bunch of shit happens in between then, but I figure it out at the end and Kill the Father, which is supposed to be taken like negative. It's supposed to be like me killing these people, but like at face value, it's just like I finally am realizing like how to implement these characteristics about them that I love so much and actually turn it into something. The prequel is out now. It's a prequel for a reason because this is my life's work. I said it in an interview like probably like 2 years ago that I was starting this album, and that moment is finally here. It's the Boulevard prequel, and it is a prequel to my life's work, a three-part series, which is my life's work. What's up? It's Kipp Stone, and you checking out 24/7 HH.